Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here from Hampton, Iowa, and welcome to another event called Pat's on Periscope. And it's 8 o'clock Central Time on the old stopwatch here. So let's take off with today's topics. We're going to talk a little bit about tech, which would include some virus and spyware protection. We're going to talk a little bit about your Facebook page and about what recent events happened last week and what changes you will or won't make to your brand page. And number 3, we're going to talk about a hoax. So let's get started on this week with Pat's on Periscope. Again, you can find my webpage at www.thecomputerguy.bz. www.thecomputerguy.bz. And what we can do is, if you go to the product page, there is a link near the bottom called Malware Bytes. And this is a product that I've used quite a while. Back, I would say 5-6 years. And I really enjoy it, really like it, I really trust it. And I do the paid version. And back 4, 5, 6 years ago, I bought the paid version, and of course I'm grandfathered in, so there's going to be no charge or no additional fees or anything for me. Now they sell it 3 licenses for $25 a year, I believe. So there's more details on the product page on the computerguy.bz. Go to that, and you can take a look and see what you like. And you can download a free version if you'd like. I know that I'm a creature of habit, and every morning at 12:15 a.m., I go to a local newspaper's website, and I look at the obituaries because I'm nosy and I need to see who died. And so the page comes up, and all these little squares for ads that come up along the side. And there's usually one that says page cannot be displayed. And what happens there is Malware Bytes prevented that page from being displayed because that is a poison link that would go to a virus site or a spyware site, malware site, and cause havoc with your computer. So that's one of those things that is there to protect you if you use it in the real time. And again, really for my practice and being in the virus removal game, I certainly use that as a prevention. I recommend it for a lot of folks. If you don't have the real-time protection, then you just have to do manual scans and manual updates and things like that, and it doesn't catch the things that are on websites. So mine, since it is the paid-for version, it automatically scans websites when the page loads in that there's no spyware links or spyware, malware, viruses type thing on that page. And more lately, I've been seeing more of these toolbar programs like Ask and things like that. We don't want Ask, and Malware Bytes does remove Ask, and it also removes a few other things. Also, I've been seeing a lot of these registry cleaners, and we don't want registry cleaners. They're just glorified malware, malicious software or spyware, where it sends information back to somebody else, and then they harvest your name, and the next thing you know, get a ton of emails regarding whatever. So again, on Pat's on Periscope today, we're talking about a little bit about tech and Malware Bytes, and a program I recommend is Malware Bytes, the live protection. There's also a couple of free services that go with that, Chameleon and some other services that are in conjunction with the paid version. So if you do have any problems, the easiest way is if you can start your computer in safe mode and then scan it with Malware Bytes. That usually does the trick for the most part. I'm not saying it's guaranteed every time. It doesn't prevent the crypto virus. It doesn't prevent a few other things. And like I always said with viruses, the best virus protection there is the distance between your mouse and your index finger. And so keep that in mind when you're using your computer. But anyway, on the computerguy.bz website, go to the products page, products and services, near the bottom, underneath all the squares, you can get Malware Bytes, and that is 3 licenses, $25 a year, and it only takes one trip to the Computer Guy, and that certainly pays for that. Next up on Pat's on Periscope, we want to talk a little bit about some events that happened this past week, especially with the Supreme Court and with the things going on in the South, and about your brand page. Now, just think if you're walking down your main street in any town, USA, and you come upon a business that you like to do business with, and all of a sudden they have all sorts of political rhetoric in the windows. They have issues. They have they want to infringe on your rights. They want to do things that you, as a value system, you just don't agree with. Would you shop there? I remember in our town last year, there was a couple of political campaign signs really viciously against our president. And if you want to attack the president on issues, fine, but these were vicious type things. And so, am I going to want to do business with the person that does that, or do you have to keep some neutrality in your business? And that's kind of what I've been viewing this week on Facebook with businesses and their neutrality. I see a lot of people, individuals, and if you can separate your individual page from your business page, that's great. In small town USA, everybody knows everybody, and so well, they're an old-time Democrat or they're an old-time Republican, and so you may already know what side of the fence they're on. But are you going to jeopardize your business page or your Facebook page or your business in general by posting a lot of political rhetoric on your business page? And I've seen a lot of people this week posting Confederate flags. They're either for or against that. And of course, if you're wanting to do business with folks in the South, how do they feel about that if you're down there or up north? And it's just one of those political things that, do you really want to get into? Will it jeopardize your business if you're posting all this on your business page? If you're posting it on your personal page and you've got it locked down somewhat just to your friends, that may be one thing. They can unfollow you, they can do whatever. But I would just hate to see somebody jeopardizing their whole Facebook page, their business page, over a Confederate flag or the rainbow colors, no matter what side of the rainbow you're on that. Because you're going to find people, hello, Sarah, that don't really agree with you 100% on all of your issues. And so why jeopardize any of your business over something like that? I know that in Iowa, there's a couple of gun groups that promote concealed carry permits, and that's fine if you want to have a concealed carry permit. That doesn't bother me at all, because I don't especially expect to see it. Concealed means you don't see it. So I know there was a big stink a couple months ago actually, at the local Buffalo Wild Wings I go to, because they had a big banner on the door that they do not allow any sort of firearms on their premises. And I could argue either way on it. I'm an open book on that. But if they don't see it, they don't know it. So how would they know if you were concealing a weapon? And then the bad guys aren't going to read the sign on the door anyway. So that's just one of those things where a couple of gun groups on the internet have really targeted some people who are banning guns, and they're celebrating the fact that they're letting other businesses say your gun is welcome here. So the gun debate is something, if I had a brick and mortar business, which I used to on Main Street, I just wouldn't want to get into that fret. I don't want to lose customers over an issue like that. I'm in the computer service business. I'm not in the debating gun issues, same-sex marriage issues, Confederate flag issues, and I really don't want to put that on my business page either, because if it's all about your business, why jeopardize that? So anyway, of course, the Iowa political season is here. Caucuses will be here soon, and I at least like to go out and meet all the folks that are running, because I'd rather hear their side of the story rather than it being told by this side or that side. So again, I'd just like to hear straight from the horse's mouth. Of course, you remember the line from Tommy Boy of how you want your steak. You can either ask the butcher or stick your head up a bull's ass. So that's kind of the philosophy there on political candidates. I'd just rather hear it from them. Finally, Again, we're summarizing on Pat's on Periscope. We talked earlier about Malwarebytes, and at my website, www.thecomputerguide.bz. If you go to the products page, you can click down and get Malwarebytes, 3 copies of that for $25. And that's on special now. And it really does work well in conjunction with another antivirus program. So it doesn't really conflict with anything. So you don't have to uninstall one to put the other in. So that's a nice thing. Again, talking about brand or business pages and what political statement, if any, you're making on those. And just remember, the political statement that you may line up with is something that your customers may not line up with. And if you're worried about business in this economy, you just may want to just keep a neutral, Switzerland type of storefront, even on your Facebook page, and just not get into the fray on that. So again, in local small town Iowa, usually people have a good idea what side you're on, and they leave it at that. But again, just be careful on politicizing your business pages, because that could come back to bite you. One last thing today, as we're on Periscope, Pat's on Periscope, is I've been seeing the roller coaster tragedy. Now, there's been a couple of as Hershey keeps knocking into my stand here. I've been seeing a couple of the roller coaster tragedy events here that have popped up on Facebook, and there was one that was a couple weeks ago that was real. There was something that got caught on fire, or a roller coaster crashed, or whatnot. It was a very terrible thing, and of course, those are really bad. But I have seen a lot of hoaxes where they want you to watch a video of a roller coaster crash, and you can tell it's a hoax, and you can tell you're going to get sucked into it and a possible Facebook virus because you're tagged in it. And maybe about 45 of your friends are tagged in it. So when you start seeing yourself being tagged in a Target gift card, or some sort of video, or watch what Miley Cyrus did here, then being tagged with those other people, when you click that, that will also forward to all of your friends the same event. So that's what I call a Facebook virus. And it may not really hurt anything, but it's going to clog the news stream up, and you're going to just make a bunch of enemies on Facebook, because none of your friends want to see that. And the best thing to do is, if you go up to the top little square up in the corner, hit that, drop down, say remove tag, then you'll be removed of it, and then you can go in there and then just remove the post. So from there, just remove the tag and remove the post, or you can hide all from roller coaster tragedy event or whatever the scam is. So that's just a couple of things I have for you today. Again, to summarize, on Pat's Periscope, we want to certainly look into Malwarebytes. We have the real-time protection on sale. It's 3 licenses, $25. You can find it at www.thecomputerguide.bz. Also have a free version there. You can download that, try it out for yourself. It doesn't provide the real-time protection. So if you stumble upon a website, or clicking on that roller coaster video would be blocked by Malwarebytes in real time. So if you do click on one of those links that is just a spam link, then the Malwarebytes would block that. So 3 for $25, www.thecomputerguide.bz. You can find my Facebook page at facebook.com/Pat the Computer Guy. And of course, we're talking a little bit about brand pages. And this past week, I've seen a lot of people turn their profile pages in a rainbow color, which is, that's cool if they want to do it, and it's cool if you don't want to do it. It doesn't mean you're locked into that position, and no matter what your position, maybe you don't want to carry that through to your Facebook business page, because I know a lot of people who just hang on they're one-issue buyers, and if they are against one thing you're doing, they're going to go somewhere else, and that could be out of town or to some sort of corporate store or some discount store. And if you're providing hometown service, the key is to get people to come to your hometown for the service. And of course, if you're tagged in one of those roller coaster videos, or one of those "you can't believe what Miley's done here," make sure you go to the corner up there, remove tag, and then remove the post or hide whoever that is. So that's what we have today on Pat's Periscope. Join me next Monday night for another edition. If there's any ideas you want to have, go to my website at thecomputerguy.bz. Send me an email, and we may cover what you want to cover on Pat's Periscope. And this is a Monday night. Pat's Periscope. We'll see you next week.